Alright, this is my attempt at making a bobsled guide. This is my third attempt because the game keeps giving me weird RNG. So, let's do this one in one shot and be done with it. First things first, let's talk about seed selection. A lot of runners tend not to care about this, and some of them care too much about it, so let's just talk about it real quick. First things first, the seed selection for this is the most unique out of all the minigames, because the strategy is also the most unique. There are two primary ways to remember what plants you're bringing, sunflower and lily pad. The pairs method, I mean. Remember the pair, so in this case sunflower lily pad are your support, cherry bomb potato mine are your explosives, jalapeno and imitator jalapeno, because you need both. Doom Shroom and Coffee Bean, you can't activate Doom Shroom without Coffee Bean, and then Spikeweed and Spike Rock. So if you remember the pairs, you'll at least be able to remember all the seeds that you need. Or you can remember the slightly more optimal, but very cursed selection. I came up with this, and it was immediately called gross, because you typically want your sunflower to be on the left side of your selection. But it is slightly more optimal. Typically speaking, you don't have to worry about seed selections until your all minigames PB is under an hour 40, and at that point you should be doing IL practice anyway, so then you'll start getting better at each level, so then you'll start picking seeds faster. You just end up... It's not like you're really practicing seed selections. You're learning them once, and then you're getting faster at them over time. So we're on the level now. We're going to plant 3 sunflowers and then a potato mine, and in column 4 here, and then we're going to plant 3 more. The potato mine is exactly useful if a bobsled spawns in this row, which is not guaranteed. So this might just be 25 wasted sun, but that's the only cost for doing this potato mine. I find it worth it. It might not be worth it. I'm sure somebody will decide, like, give you a calculated probability of how worth it this is. Worst case, you dig it up, and it only costs 25 sun. The potato mine will come off cooldown by the time you need it again. So, typically speaking, you want the jalapeno the first zombie group that spawns. This gives you more room. This gives you more room to build your sunflowers without building the sunflower attacks, aka lily pads. And then you're going to build up your sun production while saving up sun for your jalapeno to deal with whatever your next wave is. In this case, it's a Zomboni, and it's taking its sweet time. Where is the sun? Thank you. So next up, we're going to plant our second, or I guess now third potato mine in column 7, and this gives us the perfect time to set up our ice trail. And we got unlucky. If that was a bobsled, it would have actually saved us some hassle addressing this. But since it's not, we just have to roll with it. Something important is to get out an early spikeweed. Whatever your I guess in this case your third free row is, you want to spike rock. This will save time later. So now our sun production's good. We haven't sacrificed any sunflowers needlessly. Sometimes it is optimal to sacrifice sunflowers, but in this case it is not. So this looks like wave 7, 8. Ideally we get a spawn on 9. That's unfortunate. Well, this is really unfortunate. You really don't want to be left without an ice trail if you can afford it. This is because now basic zombies can spawn whenever the game is trying to spawn a Zomboni, and we're going to do something risky here. We're going to dig up that spike rock, and we're going to set up the ice trail here instead. So as soon as that goes, we're going to explode everything. So now we're on wave 1, 2. We're gonna start counting now. That way we can guarantee that we Doomshroom. Wave 9. We really want to Doomshroom Wave 9. Wave 5. 6. And so a lot of this level ends up being about your first flag management, and are you able to set up your ice trail effectively in the first 2 flags. If you're able to do that, then you'll be golden the rest of the level. If you can't do that quickly, then you're going to be in a worse off position. I like to wait a little bit to make sure we get all the basics. That's why. So a quick little piece of tech here while we're still in this first level is that the pool lanes are optimal, because if you cherry bomb too late, then the bobsled will break into 4 guys here. And as you can see, the final guy is spawned really far back, so you can't consistently cherry bomb him unless you cherry bomb from row 9. So if he's in row 1, or in column 9. So if he's in row 1 or row 6, then you won't be able to cherry bomb him. Now, if you cherry bomb early, and you hit the bobsled before they break off, then you'll kill everything inside the bobsled. There it is, a spike. So I was going to demonstrate, but we did not have the opportunity to. 2. I'm gonna try to demonstrate on this wave. None of the basic zombies after the second flag are dangerous, so don't be too worried about that. I guess I'll do this. Seven. 8. 9. So since I cherry bombed the bobsled before it could break, it killed everything in the sled. Now if I waited until after that, then it wouldn't have done that. Now we're going to jalapeno the row with our Doomshrooms in it, and we're going to Doomshroom, and that's why we planted the sunflowers earlier, so nothing could escape. 3:30's a fine time, 3:40's a fine time. This level really is about RNG. And so I'm going to do another run, but only showing off the first 20 flags, because that's really what's important when discussing this strategy. This is where people typically struggle with, is their first is setting up the kill row and setting up the bobsleds correctly. So again, we're going to plant 6 sunflowers, and we're going to do our potato mine. Opportunity cost is really low, and it can make a awkward situation a little easier. Now, one thing to note is you don't want to wait for a Zomboni to track all the way over to your potato mine. You just want to dig it up for the jalapeno. And even in the case where you have a bobsled, it might not be worth it for the potato mine to be there for it to hit the potato mine. So now we're going to plant all of our stuff at the bottom, really, because we had our guy spawn. But here, in this case, it is actually worth it to have the potato mine, because we don't really have the sun. That's annoying to deal with it. Good old misclicks. Everybody loves a misclick. Sure, that will come back to bite us in the rear later. So it looks like we're sacrificing our top rows of sunflowers. We'll see how the misclick affects the level. We're also going to try to set up our kill row. We were able to save our second row, but we're not going to be able to save our top row here. Ideally, these guys spawn in the bottom rows, so they're not a big deal. We're going to follow our general guide, where our third row that we free up should be dedicated towards the spike rock. Plug that up to save frames. Misclick doesn't matter. Alright, we're gonna do the same thing where we wait a really long time for this Zamboni to hit the ice trail, the potato mine, I mean. Doom shroom. Oh, nice. 1. 2. 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. Alright, pretty good pool. I guess I'll rub this out since it's close to my fake PB. But that's typically what a clean bobsled would. But that's what a clean beginning should look like. There's a lot of this level is just learning what situations you should do certain things with, like resetting the run because you picked the plants poorly. A lot of this is learning. Wow. Like the opening situations, and so if you do like a ×10 or something, following this general idea for the first 2 flags, that you should be in a position where you can make just about any bobsled work. Now, there are some weird ones. The game does like to hit you with some wacky bobsled openings, but most of the time you should be able to address it. Sunflowers potato mine. Sometimes it's useful, sometimes it's not. Is it really worth it? Who knows? It's like a 12.5% chance that it's useful every wave. And most of the time it won't be useful. I guess we're just gonna have a repeat of the exact same RNG. And that's why we didn't plant the potato mine immediately, because for some reason the weight of the first and second wave and the probability of where they can spawn is not altered. So what that means is your first wave is just as likely to spawn in every row, instead of typically the game tries to spread them out equally. Or it tries to prevent multiple zombies from spawning in the same lane multiple times. And so that ends up being kind of annoying. this less predictable. So second row, jalapeno for the potato mine. We will be jalapenoing the top row, so it wasn't worth it in the end. And then this will be your spike rock. This is a weird situation, but we have a spike rock, we have our couple potato mines in place. Unlike every other run where we do trip really late or do trip early to try to prevent the potato mine from dying, and it died anyway, so who the fuck cares? So now we're going to plant our spikeweed way farther away than I wanted. That's annoying, but nothing we can do about it. Here I'm waiting to cherry all the zombies. Remember what I said earlier about so I don't think did I explain this mechanic this recording? Basically, you don't want to whenever you cherry bomb the bobsled, you don't want to you want to cherry bomb the bobsled itself, not the zombies afterwards. Because the zombies have their own individual hitboxes, while the bobsled, if you kill that with an explosive, then it'll be fine. So in this situation, you can see pretty clearly that we have this level under control. We have less sun than I normally like to have, but guess what? We're not going to lose the level. This will probably be a 640 if I was to finish this level out, but I hope this gives a pretty good idea of where to start improving on Bobsled Bonanza. Like, subscribe. I don't know. I'm bad at this YouTube thing.